Caitlin Hunt, her grandmother Linda Wright, and her mother Michelle Hulon combined have taught almost 50 years. But what makes this really unusual is that all three are teaching sixth graders English language arts and math at the same Cumberland County school.
Love being here in the school with my daughter and my granddaughter. We were supposed to be in the building and right across the hall from each other, but that hasn't happened so far. But we still connect, and it still makes it rewarding for me to see both of them involved in the career that I was so in love with.
So how did this generational mashup happen at Southview Middle School? Well, Principal Chris Qualley said it all started 5 years ago after the mother, Michelle Hulon, transferred to his school. He was impressed with her work and ended up wooing Hulon's daughter, who was a beginning teacher, and her mother, a recent retiree, to the classrooms of Southview Middle School.
It's been kind of a unique situation to have all three of them here, and just, knowing what they're capable of and what they do for the kids here, it's just, there's nothing you can compare it to. They're definitely here for the kids, and they want to make a difference every day that they can.
The fun-loving trio even wore matching face masks the day of the interview and were up for playing a quick round of Who Is. Who is the planner? Who is the technology guru? Who is the best speller? Who knows teaching methodology back and forth? Who is the math genius? Who feels like they're still learning?
Me
Who
too.
is the most inspiring to students?
Say again?
Everybody. And everybody.
Hulon says growing up, her mother's career path heavily influenced her decision to be a teacher. And she was actually Southview Middle School's 2021 Teacher of the Year.
People say, if you have parents in a certain profession, it steers you away from that profession. But it could also do the opposite. Having my mom as a teacher, I got to see how important it was. And by the time I went back to school full-time, my father was actually teaching full-time. He is also a Cumberland County School retired teacher. He taught high school, whereas, my mother and myself and my daughter are all K-6 certified. He is certified to teach in high school in technology. But the value that they showed of teaching in my life was huge. And I just wanted to make the same difference that they did.
But Hulon's daughter originally considered a career in sports medicine, but right before time to declare her college major, realized that she too wanted to teach, and she said she's glad she did.
I love these kiddos so much. This is such a perfect age, especially with sixth grade. They're finding themselves and they just need that support. And that was something that I was able to offer them. So I love being in sixth grade.
Hunt is also glad her first real experience in the classroom is alongside her mom and Nana.
I love working with my mother and my grandmother. Sometimes we butt heads, like everybody does, but we just have this great communication with one another. I've worked with my mom since day one walking in this building. We taught the same subject. We started with ELA, and then when Mr. Qualley talked to us about doing ELA and math, we said, sure, absolutely, but we're doing it together because I'm not losing my planning partner. So then when my Nana came, it was just really awesome.
The three educators have found that working together has its ups.
I think the good side of all of us working together is just being able to communicate well with one another and just working together to inspire and teach our kiddos.
And I think for me, the support of having Caitlin, who is really a technology person, a technology guru, and I said from the beginning when Mr. Qualley hired me that it was going to be a steep slope learning all this new technology because I retired in 2017, so I had a couple of years in there where I wasn't in a classroom, full-time at least, and Caitlin's pushing me up that slope all the time.
And I think the best part about working together is that we know each other's strengths and weaknesses so well outside of the classroom, and that carries over into the classroom. So we don't have to rely so much on who's going to do a certain thing. We just kind of say, all right, Caitlin's going to do this, or Linda's going to do this, or I'm going to do this part. And a lot of people wonder how it's possible for the three of us to work together. But when we are at work, we're colleagues.
Yeah.
We are colleagues. We are always professional. We have a good time, just like I do with my other colleagues. But she's Miss Wright, that's Miss Hunt, and I'm Miss Huon when we're at work.
But it also has its downs.
The negative side of working together with your mom and your daughter is that sometimes work doesn't stop at 4 o'clock. It continues into our dinner conversations, our phone call conversations. We're lesson planning literally all hours of the day because something will dawn on us and we're so comfortable with one another. I can just pick up the phone and call and say, hey, what do you think about this for math tomorrow? Or how did the ELA lesson go for you today? Literally, we have said, no offense, Mama, but literally we have said, who's gonna call Nana and tell her this? Because you know she's gonna wanna talk about how her day went. And it's not that we don't wanna hear it, we do, but sometimes we have to turn off work and just be family.
The three say their students are fascinated to find out they are related. From there, the numerous cute comments keep coming.
The best part is when they go, Miss Huon and Miss Wright don't look old enough to be your mother and your grandmother. And
That
I'm
is the best part.
I said, go tell them that. Go tell them.
I had a little girl one day tell me, well, you look like you're about 30. And I said, oh, you get extra credit for that.
All jokes aside, Principal Qualley is pleased with his decision to hire the grandmother, mother, granddaughter trio.
Basically, you could go into any of those 3 classes and you're going to see almost a mirror image of exactly what they're doing. So if one of them's out now, they just basically take the other's class and they kind of fill in for each other and they just go right through it and doesn't skip a beat at all. So it works out, really well. But they're definitely, top-notch teachers, and I put them, all 3 of them, I put them up against anybody in the county.
He could clearly see their love for children and education runs deep. It has become one of the many ties that has binded them together as family and has made them strong educators.
This bond, this relationship that we have goes really, really, really far back. My mother is the most important person in my life. She has made me 100% what I am today. But a very close second is my daughter. And my daughter makes me be who I am today because she pushes me to always go further, to always do more, to always be better and never stop. So by having them in my life, family-wise, is fabulous, but to have them in my life professionally is amazing because I become a better educator in the end.